So again, let's talk a little bit about what these things are, right? Omega-3 and specifically EPA, DHA, those are the important long chain fatty acids that we want from our omega-3. And this really matters. When you look at your own fish oil, and I know it's confusing, and the fish oil brands make it confusing on purpose. But on the label, as required by the FDA, we have to state what is the amount of omega-3, and then what is the amount of EPA and DHA. Those are separate listings on your supplement facts. So take a look at that. It's very important, because you can have a typical drugstore supermarket fish oil is a 1 gram pill, so 1,000 milligrams of fish oil. Well, what does that mean? It really matters what's inside that fish oil, because there's heavily refined fish oil to get to a very potent EPA DHA, and then there's the garbage that is the majority of fish oil out there. So in a 1,000 milligram fish oil pill, typically you're getting 300 to 400 milligrams of omega-3, okay, but you're only getting like 100 milligrams of EPA and DHA. Okay, that is not going to do it. We talked about 1,000 to 1,500 milligrams per day. Our omega-3 is 5 times that. So you need to really look at your label, and we're not going to get into this today, but the other big factor here is triglyceride omega-3 versus ethyl ester omega-3. You may have never even heard that. Again, the fish oil companies don't want you to know this, because triglyceride omega-3 is the natural form of omega-3. And that is how we can absorb omega-3. We can't absorb ethyl ester, which is an alcohol, omega-3, without converting it to a triglyceride. It's the only way we can absorb it into our bloodstream. So the majority, and I mean 99.9% of the fish oils in this country are ethyl ester alcohol. And the way you can tell is when you look at your label in your bottle, it will not say triglyceride omega-3, because the 4 companies, and we're one of them, that make a triglyceride omega-3, we spend a lot of time and a lot of money to get that fish oil refined to a triglyceride omega-3. So we put it on the label. It's the same as eating a salmon fillet. That's easily absorbed, whereas the ethyl ester has to get turned back into triglyceride in your body, and you lose 70% of the absorption. So we're not going to go any further on that one today, but that is very, very important when you're talking about fish oil. So again, where do we get this from? We get it from fatty fish, especially cold fatty fish. It's in the fat layer of that fish. You can get it, ALA, you can get from flaxseed, hemp, walnut, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, but it really is not converted to EPA DHA very well at all in your body, and we'll talk about that. So omega-6, why has our consumption of that gone up, 10, 20-fold in the last 100 years? Well, if you think about it, it's linoleic acid, and it's refined vegetable oils, soy, corn, sunflower, safflower, and animal fats, right? So eggs, dairy, and red meat. So 120 years ago, you really weren't eating a ton of refined vegetable oils. So that's in baked goods, and anything that's packaged is loaded with vegetable oils. That's where the majority of this omega-6 comes from. So now let's look at, great. So salmon is a great source of omega-3, correct? Yes. But what's the big difference between wild and farmed salmon? I'm sure you've heard that wild is better than farmed, but how much better? And let's talk about the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. So there's a huge difference. If you look at a half fillet of wild salmon, you're getting 3.4 grams of omega-3, that's great. And you're only getting 341 milligrams. So that's a 1 to 10 ratio of omega-3 to omega-6, right? So you're getting 10 times more omega-3. That's what you want. On a farmed salmon,